The truth has been deliberately locked away for years with lies, deceits, and changes because the enemy doesn't want us to know the truth. But now people are waking up and seeking the truth like never before. The lies that have been told can no longer contain them. Now truths that you never would have imagined are being revealed. Like our Heavenly Father's name, Yahuwah, and His only begotten Son, Yahushua HaMashiach. The truth is coming for all of the lies, because the truth will set you free. And every lie and every stronghold that had a hold on many are being destroyed. No lie will survive. The truth. Hello and welcome to all. Today we're going to be talking about whether you know it or not, we've been lied to. Part 3, the wake-up call dream. I had this dream in March of 2017, and leading up to the day I had this dream, I was clearly searching for something. I could feel it inside, but I didn't understand what I was searching for. I was looking at a lot of YouTube videos about miracles, angels, end-time prophecy, just to name a few. And I was binge watching these videos. So I remember this night clearly. After I had finished binge watching some videos, I went to bed. I don't recall what time I went to bed, but that particular night, I had one of the most powerful dreams I've ever had. And I've been a dreamer for years. Have seen so many dreams come to pass. Received information that I didn't even know existed. Then I look it up and see that it is actually something real. So I actually have some pictures so that you can visualize the dream. But this is the dream, the wake-up call dream that let me know you're searching for something. Yes. But now I'm going to help you to find out what you're searching for. So I am so thankful to the Most High. So we'll just go right ahead and get on into this dream, okay? So in this dream in the beginning, I was in a room and it was full of white people in the room. So it was a baby that they had in the midst of them. And I was in the room just kind of looking. I was just kind of there. I didn't really understand my purpose at that time, being in that scene. But I saw the baby, I saw the child, and then I looked closer and I saw that this was a black child that was amongst them. That was inside, it was kind of like imagine a group of people, and in the midst of these people is a child, a baby, but everyone was white except for the child. The child was black. So I saw this child, and it was held in the arm, kind of like bundled up in their arm. And then so I didn't really know what to think about the child and everything. Then the next thing I know, the child is in my arms, and I don't know how it happened. No one passed me the child. The child was just suddenly in my arms. So at this point, once I had the child, I had this feeling like we needed to be somewhere. And as we were starting to leave, it felt like someone was after us. And so it seems like we went through a hallway that kind of felt like an ancient hallway. It was kind of makes you think of like those old castles and things, how you see they have those long hallways with the lights and everything. Well, not with the lights, but with the torches. It kind of felt like it was something relating to the past. with this child that was kind of hid amongst white people in the beginning. Then I all of a sudden ended up with the child. So as we were going, like I said, it felt like someone was coming behind us, after us. So I felt like I had to keep going. And as we kept going, suddenly there were these two white men, and they were dressed in like dark clothes, like with a cape and like a hood. You couldn't really see their faces. So as me and the child, as we were going, then all of a sudden the child was no longer in my arms anymore. So at that point, I wasn't exactly sure what the child was. But once these men came into the scene, next thing I realized, the little baby had turned into like a child. Looked like about the age of possibly 9, 10, somewhere like that. And the child used some type of power, and I was concerned about the child. And once the child used the power, then these men, they left. And I noticed that the child, you know how ice cube melts, and you know how ice looks when it's thick and solid, but then you also know how it looks when it's thin and melting and clear. Well, it was like this ice surrounding the child, but it was thin and it was melting. And it was like whatever was enclosed was coming, it was melting. Everything was melting away. And so we continued on, because I really, at this point, this is the dream. So the next part, I see kind of looks like the same group of white people that we saw in the beginning, but they're like kind of standing to the side, and they were leaning kind of like against a wall, like what they had kind of like a indention in it, and if they were leaning kind of like against the back of the wall, and it kind of looked like they were kind of hiding from something, and I'm not sure exactly what it was, but I looked at them, and they were looking at me, and they kind of looked concerned, but at the same time, I didn't understand what was going on at this point. Of course, this is a dream. So anyway, as I kept going in this dream, the next thing I know, the child is no longer with me, and I'm by myself, and I come to this entrance where I see this road, and there's this massive flowing water coming over this road. It's a 2-lane road, and with cars going in the opposite direction. So I see this, and I see cars trying to make it through. And so somehow, the next thing I know, I ended up in a car. And as I was going along this road, now it was my turn to try to make it through this flooding water, or this flowing water, I would say, because it was like this powerful flowing water. And anyway, as I was trying to make my way towards, through this rushing, flowing water, it was a black man laying across the road. So he was laying across the road on the side that I was on. He was laying across the road, and on the other side, and they were coming, this was from the opposite direction. On the other side, there was a white van that was kind of like parked at the top of the hill, because this was a hill, and it was 2 white men standing beside the white van. So I wasn't sure what the black man was doing. I didn't know if the white men were helping him or what, but he was laying across this flowing water. And then the next thing you know, the van started to roll backwards. And so the next thing you know, this black man who was laying across the ground, he suddenly got up really quick and got behind the van and stopped the van from going down the hill. So I thought that the white men were helping him, but it turned out he actually ended up helping them. So from this point, that happened. Everything seemed like it happened so quickly. Then the next thing I know, I was flying, and I was with a woman who was older. It felt like it could have been my mother, a mother figure. So we were flying, and next thing you know, it was this huge field surrounded by trees, and I was following this woman. And so as we were going, we came to like this building, and it was like at the end of this field. And this building, it kind of made you feel like, if you go to your front door, the inside of your house, how when you can open the door, but there's no way to go around that door, above that door, on either side or the top. That's how it was. Even though we were outside, it was like we were inside, because there was no way to go around this place, above it, to the side. You could only go through that door. So we approached the door, and the mother figure went in through the door. And so I went to try to, follow her into the door, and the door closed. I could not get inside. Now, keep in mind, throughout this whole dream, even from when I had the child, when they came to the little girl, I still had the feeling someone was following me through the whole dream. Even when I got to the part where I was driving, trying to make it through the flowing water, and even to this moment, I felt something was after me or coming for me. I didn't know what it was. So I could not get inside to through that door. I had no other way to go, nowhere to go. So I had to. Only thing I could do was turn around and realize that I had to face what actually was chasing me. So when I turned around, I saw giants, like different heights, and massive. The crowd was massive, of different heights of giants coming towards me. I could not believe how big some of them were. They were so big, and it was so many, and they were coming for me. And I didn't know what to do. And as I looked, then the next thing you know, there was one that appeared greater than all of the giants, made them look small. And when he appeared, he said something. Now I remember the beginning clearly. I'm the Alpha, the Omega, the beginning and the end. And the last part I cannot remember, but I recall it kind of being along the lines of who can do anything to me or something along those lines. But anyway, even though this massive, powerful being the Alpha and Omega, Yahuwah, he has appeared in my dream. And these giants, they still kept coming. They still kept coming. They did not stop. And as they were coming, he started destroying them. And even though they saw that they were being destroyed, they kept coming. It felt like they were like demons or evil spirits or lies being destroyed so that the truth could be seen. And it was just, he destroyed every last one of them. They did not care. They just kept coming until none were left. And this dream, I don't know how long it went on, but it was all these different scenes, so you can tell that this dream happened for some period of time. So after experiencing all that and seeing that he destroyed every last one of them, I woke up. And when I woke up, I was actually in tears. I knew that dream was so powerful. It was loud and clear that he was telling me something. He was definitely revealing some things to me in this dream. So when I woke up from that dream and I had those tears in my eyes, and it was so powerful, I can't tell you, my soul just felt so full. I knew that I had to reach out to the Most High. I knew I had to pray then and there. And so I prayed. But this time I did something different. This time I moved myself out of the way. My prayer, I said, because I didn't know his name, I said, Lord, I'm ready to know what it is that you want me to know, and not what I think you want me to know. And that was my prayer. It was not a long drawn out prayer. And I'm telling you, when I prayed that prayer, I did eventually go back to bed. And the next day, I started looking, picking. Of course, after that dream, I I went back to looking at the videos I was looking at about the angels and miracles and things. And so I'll pick right back up where I left off and was watching them. But now there was a video in there that I have never seen before, never heard of the topic or anything, and it said the true Jews. And so when I saw that, I was kind of like, true. I didn't have any reason to believe that it wasn't. And so on the cover of this video, it was showing black people, and so I was like, what's really going on here? So I clicked on the video, and mind you, I had never seen a video like this. The whole time I've been watching the YouTube videos that I've watched, or before that day, I never saw a video like that. That was the first time I saw a video like that. So of course I clicked on it, and when I clicked on it, I was like, oh my goodness, to find out, it was a very informative video, and learning that the word that the JW word was not even what they were, what they were called. That to find out that came from the tribe of Judah, or Yahuwah. So I was like, okay, so it's not even a blanket term. And then realizing so many things from this video, I just was hungry for more. So of course, after I watched that video, then more videos started appearing, more videos. So I started watching more and more videos. And then one of the videos that talked about where our people came from before we came over here, and the type of people that we were. Our people were not ignorant people who didn't know how to do things. Our people were very skilled and very talented. And when we came over here, they tried to make it seem like our people were like ignorant and things of that nature. But no, this is a people who came over to a country that they didn't speak the language or any of those things. So no, they didn't speak the language. They were not ignorant people. These people were gifted, talented people. And then to find out that the ones they brought over were actually from the tribe of Judah, or Yahuwah, it was just like, okay, things were kind of coming together. They were coming together. So I was like, okay, let me look at a few more videos here. And the way he was describing those things, and it was making me reflect. And when I say the way he was describing those things of how our people, what they were doing, and so many things, like our history didn't start with the civil rights movement. It didn't start with Martin Luther King or Rosa Parks and things like that. Because it seems like every time around the same time of year, February, January, the same type of celebrations. You hear about the cotton gin and all the different, the same different types of, stories that you've heard throughout the years about Rosa Parks, Martin Luther King, Frederick Douglass, just all the different same things we've heard, but I never heard anything before that. When I was a little girl, I remember seeing videos of Africa, and it was always like making them appear like someone was in the jungle, walking around half dressed and things of that nature. It was never showing that these thriving people with talent and things of that nature. So it's like you kind of groomed to not want to have an interest in Africa. Not that we wouldn't have an interest. It's just that they tried to make it like Africa was not this place that has what it has. Tried to make it like it was just a jungle and things of that nature, and that we come from there. It kind of made us not want to look into things because we were indoctrinated, basically, pretty much. This is what they wanted us to know about the Rosa Parks on the bus. Martin Luther King, he has a dream. And, everything else that we learned during those times. Harriet Tubman and the Underground Railroad. Just the same things we learned throughout the years, the same programs throughout the years, but never where we were before we came here. Because our story did not start here. We came from somewhere. And to find out that we came from the tribe of Judah, Yehuda, this is my mind. I was trying to process all of this. But the scriptures were backing up everything. So I was like, I had to pray. I had to pray again. I was like, I don't want to go down any paths you don't want me to go down. I don't want to talk about anything you don't want me to talk about. Please reveal to me what what I need to know, because I don't want to pass off any false information to anyone. And that was definitely my concern. I did not want to displease the Most High, but I wanted to learn. I wanted to know the truth. And I'm telling you, like I told you, my family was real big in the civil rights movement. And I've gone to like the museums and things of that nature. And it was certain pictures that I just hated seeing. And then also when it comes to movies and shows, it was certain things I just didn't like to watch. It was something that just did not agree with something in me. I think it's kind of like I didn't agree with the stereotypes they were presenting our people as. And so therefore I didn't enjoy certain things. I just didn't accept certain things that they chose to show us and have our people acting in. But when that man did the video talking about who our people were, and then talking about how they hated us and all the things of that nature, it finally made sense to me why we were so hated. Because the scripture said these people, there was going to be a perpetual hatred for them. And that finally made sense why I felt the way I felt throughout the years. Why I just didn't agree with things. Why I just didn't play along with certain things and just fit into the role of just accepting this because this is what black culture is. It all started making sense. And it all started making sense why they hated, why black people have been hated across the world. Hated across the world. And so I was so thankful to find out this information. And this was only the beginning of finding out more about the truth. So that dream, the Most High, He knew I was searching in my heart. He knew, He knows. We say He knows our heart. He truly does know. And even though He showed me that in the dream, you still have to remove yourself, because we have been indoctrinated. If you don't remove yourself, the truth can't set you free. Because you're going to just keep that same thinking process. Because a lot of times when you pray for certain things based on what you understand. Leaning on your understanding and how you believe it should be. But when I removed myself, that's when the Most High was able to act and show me things I never would have known had it not been for Him. And so this is the wake-up call dream that started out. Now, I had been searching for a long time. I just didn't know what I was searching for. But when the Most High gave me that dream, He made it clear. And then I was able to understand the dream. So like I mentioned in the beginning of the dream, there was this black child amongst white people. It's like a child is a gift, a bundle of joy. So it was something that when we're born into this world, it's something that's with us from when we are born into the world. But this was hidden amongst white people. So it made a lot of sense, because if we're from the tribe of Judah, that's not something that we can just make happen just because we want to. That's something that comes from who we're born from. We come from that tribe. That's just who our bloodline is. And so I even had a dream where He showed me the name Jacob. And there was this list of people. There was this list of people underneath. And I saw different names underneath. and then my name was there underneath, like descendant from Jacob. He showed me all these things, and he showed me before this powerful dream. He was clearly reaching out to me. There was a dream that I had, just kind of show you how he was showing me. You need to look into your history. There's more. He was showing me before. So the name Abraham. I know someone with that name, and I had a dream that they were in my dream, and they actually were lying on the sofa downstairs, and they coming up the stairs. So it was like they were coming towards me. So I was trying to go the other way, because I didn't understand why they were coming towards me at that time, and I was kind of trying to get away from them. So I was going down this hallway, and I ended up going into a bathroom because I couldn't get away from them. It was like it was a room up front, and someone was sleeping in that room. Then there was another room, and I tried to go in that room, but it was like, imagine a door and half of the door is gone. So even though the door was half, I still couldn't get in the part they didn't have a door. I could not even get in there. So I had to go into the bathroom. So I went into the bathroom, and they came into the bathroom behind me. So I'm like still trying to get away from them. So I sit on the tub because there's nowhere else to go at this point. And as they come in, I lean back in the tub, trying to lean back away from them. And so when they came in, they kissed me on my forehead, and it was like so peaceful. And then once they did that, they left. So it was like the Most High was showing me even then, and this was like, I'll say probably 4 years before I had this dream, the wake up call dream. So it was like he was showing me there was something that has been passed down from Abraham to you, and I was running from it. But he's trying to show me he was trying to show me even before he was trying to reach out. I just didn't pray. I just didn't seek or ask him. I just leaned on my own understanding at that time. I thought that I was doing, searching things, as searching these videos and all these things like that. But I was not asking the questions that I needed to ask. I was still in the way. I was leaning on my own understanding. I was going based off of traditions and passed down knowledge and things. That's what I was going by. And I was working within a box and not the full power that the Most High has to reveal all truths and things of that nature. So just kind of wanted to give y'all that backstory where he's tried to reach out to me before. And so when I have this dream, like I said, at the beginning, this was a gift that I ended up having from birth. And as I was going through this dream, it was unthawing, which means he was bringing it to me. These things I was going to start to understand the things that this child that I was carrying, it wasn't necessarily someone else's. It was a gift that was already within me that was coming to fruition, so I would know what was going on. And that's why I was melting and growing. She was growing, and then the next thing you know, I'm to the point where the child is gone. That's because it was always within me. And as I moved on past that flowing water, the water washes away a lot of the things. So this was some powerful flowing water. And then I was able to fly, and then I just felt like the Most High was revealing to me all these truths, and these demons and these evil spirits and these people who have worked to keep these things hidden. There's so much truth, so much wickedness to keep it hidden. He's destroying all that for his children. He's the one making us realize the truth, and that truth sets you free. Once I saw that, I could not unsee it. And it just made so much sense. The scriptures were alive again. It made so much sense why they feel the way they do. Because it's spiritual warfare. Because it's good versus evil. It's because the enemy Of course, he despises y'all's children, and we cannot help the fact of what his word says, that he does have a covenant with the children of Israel because of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So this is not something that you just makes them just so special. It's like, oh, you're just so special. It's because when he's chosen you, you have certain responsibilities, and you can't live your life like everybody else. You truly do have to be set apart, because we to do his will. And the thing is, what's so wonderful about him is that people can be grafted in. But the whole point that I'm making from this dream is he is the one who brought this truth to me. He is the one who opened my eyes. But even though he was doing that, I still had to move myself out of the way. And I'm telling you, yourself can be the hardest obstacle. You're already up against lies, deceit, the indoctrination, and the enemy trying to plant thoughts and plant his people in your life and everything to keep you off the path. So yourself is because you always with yourself. So when I removed that stuff out the way, and the Most High was able to, so it was like everything just flooded in like a dam, cover being removed and just flowing. And so I'm just so thankful. And just think about some of your dreams. Think about things in your life where he has done the same, reached out or showed you something that you didn't necessarily think about. Because let's just be honest, in religion, it's not taught that way, to look at those things, or that the Most High might be reaching out to you. It's not taught like that, and people don't understand it. But yet we know he's living. But of course he will be reaching out to his children, just like he always has. So I'm so thankful for him. But that was the wake up call dream that just changed. Finally, let me see. Okay, there's some truth that has been hidden. The people who I thought were the people are not the people. And in fact, I come from the tribe of Judah. And let me just tell you the irony of this. I'm not sure if so there's a movie called The Da Vinci Code with Tom Hanks, and I remember watching that movie. And in this movie, it's about he's going to these different churches and things like that, searching for a woman is in this with him. I think it was her grandfather at the beginning. I don't want to spoil it for you, but anyway, if you do get a chance to watch it, it's about searching for like the kind of the bloodline. And in this movie, come to find out she's a descendant of and I don't really like the word Jesus Christ. She's a descendant of JC. And so I remember when I first saw that, and I was a Christian at the time. When I first saw that, I was like, wow, wouldn't that be something to be from the bloodline of JC, to be from that. I just thought that to myself, And so come to find out that we're from the tribe of Yehuda, the tribe of Judah, and Yahushua HaMashiach is the lion of the tribe of Judah. So the irony of that, to know that that's the lineage that we come from, that was really something. Because I went right back to that moment, and the enemy didn't want us to know that. He didn't want us to know that. But I went right back to that moment, and the feeling that I felt, you just cannot even describe it. And so I'm just so thankful to him. And he's reaching out in dreams, visions, also miracles, and his word. Because once I saw these things, once he made it clear to me, the scriptures just support everything. I was constantly going to the scriptures. And also, man, they don't try to hide things. They It's right there in books. And I mean, it's just so much information out there. But if you have no idea, if you just been in the indoctrination like we all have, unless you had parents who knew the truth and raised you in the truth, now that's such a blessing right there. But most of us have been raised in traditions, passed down traditions. And so I'm just so thankful for the Most High again, for waking me up, for getting me to realize that I couldn't find this by myself. And a lot of times we don't even realize that's what we're doing. Because we're putting him in a box, because we are seeking what we think we need to know. We're seeking on our own without even realizing it. But I'm telling you, if you remove yourself out of the way and let him know directly, I want to know what you want me to know and not what I think you want me to know. He can do all types of things. And you can't just say it with your mouth. It's got to be in your heart. It's got to be in your heart. But I'm going to go ahead and end the video here. So, of course, there's so much more to come with this, because now my eyes have been opened to so much more than I could have imagined. And I have finally realized, okay, whether I know it or not, I have been lied to my entire life. We will continue in part 4, realization and acceptance. Thanks so much for watching, and please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And remember, there is only one who is the way, the truth, and the life, and that is Yahuwah.